What did I tell you, man? What did I tell you? It's like what Lisa told me in the last couple of weeks about, seeking counseling / therapy after people quit that dump. I should have done that. I told you, man. Didn't I say on Facebook when I was there? Didn't I say it several times, especially to Andrew, that once I leave this dump, I was going to seek help? Didn't I make that crystal clear when when I said that on Facebook to him, to Mari, to most of my other friends? Did I not say that loud and clear? That once I quit that damn workplace, that I was going to finally seek help? Wouldn't that make more sense to seek therapy once, on my way to leaving that dump? Even if I were to file a 2-week notice, the minute I do that, then I can seek help at the right time. It's all about seeking it at the right time. What I'm doing right now, taking therapy while I'm still in this abnormal workplace, it just, to me, I think it's just poor timing. But unfortunately, this is not my decision. Ultimately not my final decision. And even though I said eventually I was gonna need it, even and this was not initially my final, my final urgent decision. I even admitted to my own family that at some point, or actually I didn't even really admit it to them. I just told myself, while I was already facing all this darkness the last couple of months, or actually I should just say all of April, because of what happened toward the end of March, that I was getting into that, which then led to me admitting myself to be a failure of a friend. And since then, this just leads into deeper darkness for me, with nothing but demons around me, nothing but walls, just feeling more and more and more alone, that I just had to keep messing up a whole lot, where my turnover rate has just been at an all-time high, like uncharacteristically at an all-time high. That doesn't sound like the person I am, doesn't it? That was when, I've had a lot of these mess-ups at home, and that's just not normal. If you think about it, it's just not normal. But that is as a result of why my self-esteem and my self-confidence have both gone down drastically because of what happened toward the end of March. And considering after having ghosted my entire friend circle, I think these problems just kept going, only to see them get worse. Even if a majority of those problems are getting worse at home. And that's when it all started going downhill for me, to where I just don't even know the person I am anymore. with my very low self-esteem and all lost self-confidence, right? This was when I started to admit to myself that at some point I needed, and I mean, I really needed to start seeking help, which I really didn't want to do. But because of what transpired all of last month for me, the darkness that I'm facing, and what transpired toward the end of March, and what happened the last couple of weeks, which is to me the worst ever argument I've ever had at home, of all the arguments I've ever had, which really had led to the final decision, not by me, but my own family, for me to finally seek it. Yep, it had to take that entire argument for me to finally get the help that I need. You know, this is just what happens when I'm still in that stupid ass workplace, when it has done nothing but worsen my self-image and just completely destroy the person that I am. Look what just happened. Like, my own parents have seen me just easily frustrated. And why is that, you ask? They're not about to sit here and believe that it's my workplace doing this to me when I've been on the record for so many years, or rather so many months, going back to last year and the year before, that it's been my dump completely destroying the person that I am. My dump has completely destroyed my character. I don't care what anybody thinks at this point, because I am still gonna blame that dump, even as I'm still there, as I'm still trying my very hardest, for as super active as I've been, applying and applying and applying just to get the hell out of there. The fact of the matter is, I'm still there, where it's just so damn predictable. Everything is so predictable. Like, I've said it in how many of my blogs, as I've been cooking that piece of shit place. Especially today, the blog that I wrote that just got me so fired up, so worked up, that, everything I said in there, it's all, I'm gonna stand by it, It's just hard for me to just sit in there, rotting my brain out, and even just to the point where I can't help but to think about how I got hired at that stupid ass place. The way I got hired. It wasn't like when I got hired at Knott's, like well over a decade ago. And I got a direct reaction and a firm handshake from my interviewer that I was getting hired. I didn't get that. I didn't get a response like that. Or this dump that I'm still working at to this very day. The fact that Rico got me that job, it was just very pure luck. because Donald told Rico, as Rico told me, that I'm talking about Rico, should mentor me because of my portfolio just being totally average, and that it, like, let's just face it, if that was just me alone trying to apply for that dump, I might just be easily rejected because of the fact that I didn't have enough portfolio experience and just did not have enough graphic design experience. But because Rico worked there, he referred me. And so I got lucky. Look, not to take anything away from him getting me the job. Of course, I had to thank him. That's why I treated him to dinner, to that one restaurant in Cerritos. I don't think it's there anymore. It's called Twin Dolphin. Great food. It's almost like I think it's a Hawaiian barbecue place, I think. It's a restaurant, but, you know, I think it used to be there because I've been around Cerritos many times on my lunch breaks, and I don't think I've been around the other side of Cerritos, like down the Pioneer area, like that other side. Who knows? Maybe it's still there. But anyways, yeah. Fact of the matter is, he got me that job. Again, nothing to take away from that. But to see myself still there to this very day in my 12th year, it's just becoming more of an indictment on my own life, my social life, and myself as a person and as a friend. And by the way, while I'm going on with this whole rant right here, as this topic does concern, you know, where my status is on returning to my friend's circle, well, guess what? I'm not ready to go back yet. So I'm gonna keep, you know, I'm gonna keep staying away because of the fact that this workplace just continues to destroy me for as long as I'm there. You know, I can take so many therapy sessions, and for as long as I'm in that abnormal workplace that has destroyed me to a fault. And look, I've got this strange feeling in my head again. I haven't had this for the past couple of weeks now, but all of a sudden it's going back. It's coming back to me because of the fact that a lot of my stress, a lot of my bitterness, my negative mentality is concerning that polished turd, that workplace that I've been trying to get the hell out of, which leads to why I'm just not ready to come back. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to return to my friend circle yet. I'm gonna further continue this silence, you know, until further notice. I'm gonna continue this silence of just being away from my friend circle until I'm ready to come back. And I don't know how many therapy sessions it's going to take me to, to better my mental health. But I can assure you that so many therapy sessions can only do so much for me, that for as long as I'm still in that dump, that is only going to worsen things for me and make my therapy a waste of my time, a waste of my learning, and a waste of my money, because of the fact that I'm still there in that stupid ass place. And which is why I refuse to go back to my friend circle. And I mean, when I say that, I mean mingling with all my friends again at the same time. And I'm talking about guys like Russ. I'm talking about guys like Dewey, Carlos. I talked to Chris, just recently. I told him about me and Robbie no longer being friends. He just said, okay. He just doesn't really care because he hasn't talked to anyone. And by the way, he has to look for a new job because the place that he works at is going to close down in a couple of months. But it was for another reason. It wasn't like, for the reason that I thought it was because of the terrorists, but it was for a different reason. So anyways, yeah, I'm just not ready to go back yet, man. I'm just not. I can't return to normalcy on, mingling with my friend circle again, going back to Facebook, slash Instagram, talking about social media, and going on group chats, or just and just even hanging out with, regularly with friends, even in groups. And look, I'm still gonna see Julio next week. That I'm not changing that. He wants to see me, so it's just gonna be him and I. Fine with me. I am going to see Neil again too. So I'm just gonna, just take it like very slowly on myself. And yes, my therapist has agreed with me that, I better go see some friends so I can get some sense of normalcy back in my life. But that does not mean that I'm going to, immediately mingle with my friend circle again. I'm not allowing myself to do that for the reasons that I just mentioned. With that long rant that I just spoke out, or the beginning of this video. Or as long as I'm in that workplace. And I myself feel so bad that I've, just all last week, I didn't even show any signs of anger until today. Look, when I woke up this morning, I really didn't feel like wanting to go back to that stupid ass place. Knowing it's just so damn predictable and everyone is just whatever. Nobody just really seems to care. Even my coworker Armando just next to me. I mean, I said good morning, this and that. He's just not someone who's just willing to talk. I gotta initiate the goddamn conversation just for him to talk. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, dude. I'm just done getting worked up with that stupid ass place, especially when you have the same company present, just running it with the same goddamn management. I'm pretty sure Carmen wanted to retire, but Mr. Lee's not letting her. He just wants to keep making her suffer, despite her having a heart attack in late 2021. But him. He just doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care about his own employees. He just wants to keep running his own co-workers, his own employees, even the management, to the ground, until the last drop of his blood. For as long as he's still working there, he's never going to retire. So everything's going to be the same. I have no hope for that place. And as a result, for as long as I'm still there, no matter how many therapy sessions I take, they ain't going to help very much for as long as I'm still there. Because when I'm there, I'm already starting to feel abnormal myself. Saying things that I don't mean. This is exactly why I needed to step away from my friend circle. Because of all the shit that I said, especially that group text incident that was ultimately the final death nail in the coffin. That's why I lost Robbie as a friend. That's why I lost Andrew as a friend. And it's just I'm gonna say this again. It's like I said it in my first video, and even in some of my older ones too. I can't keep letting these guys see my worst. And unfortunately, despite a number of therapy sessions, I've only taken 2 so far. So I might need to go way more than just that. I mean, I don't know how many it's going to go, but, I don't know if I have a limit. Because like I said, this is my first time taking therapy, and I'm not sure, a certain number of sessions I need to take. You know what I'm saying? But, if there's no limit, then I got to take as many as I can. But, like I said, I can't really just rely on that, like, to better myself as a person. Julio said he's done a church retreat, and when he's done it, he said it helped him change his life for the better. You know what I'm saying? It helped him to see, life at a whole different perspective. So I don't know. Maybe I should take that too. I've been advised to see a psychiatrist. I don't even know yet about that. A psychologist, there was a request, but who knows? I can take all of that. Let's just say if I did. But ultimately, I just think that they're all not going to help very much, for me, for as long as I'm still in that place. Because, the way that people are treated, and especially with what it is now, is why I just can never feel normal or be normal in that workplace. Like today, I don't know, I'm just having, I haven't had this many bitter feelings in a while because of what I've been dealing with at home, but now it's coming back again. It's just coming back. I hate to say it, I'm starting to feel that again. And I really try to test myself, but I told you it ain't working when it's just too damn quiet, when there's just not much going on, and I can't even, sitting there and rotting and just waiting for some work. Yeah, I already got a couple flyers to do, but after that, what's next? You know what I'm saying? It's just been frustrating. It's just been stressful and showing signs of frustration and anger again. Just coming home from that stupid place. I told you. I'm still going to feel like crap, which is why I'm not ready to go back to my friend circle. I am not going to do that. Let everyone else feel what they feel. I know the friends aren't going to leave, and I'm going to talk about this in another video. I'm sure guys like Boss won't leave. Julio made it clear that he's not going to leave me. Russ ain't leaving me. Mari is not leaving me. Carlos, who knows at this point. Ray, I don't think he will either. Abbas, I already said Abbas. Neil, I already hung out with him once. And so, I don't know about Anastasia. Dewey, I would not be surprised if he left me. He's probably fed up with me, like I said. I talked about that in that video about my friendship with him. And who else did I miss? I think that's pretty much it. Can care less what Cecilia thinks. I'm pretty sure she's got her own life basically. So like I said, I'm just gonna keep postponing this for as long as I can. I'm not gonna allow myself to go back to my friend circle. So I'm not ready. I'm not going to let any of these guys continue to see my worst, because like I said in my older videos, when I come back, if I come back so soon, who knows, my friendships are going to start ending quickly if they continue to see me like this. Look, these thoughts, these negative thoughts, I'm trying to let them go, but I can't, because I'm in that dump. When I'm all alone sitting there, nobody's making me feel like an employee. That's why I have all these thoughts. And the sad part is, I'm sitting there with all these thoughts that, it's hard for me to let go of these other ex-close friends that I lost. Like Rhea, Angelique, Christine, Jessica, Marielle. Joanne. I can name a whole bunch. Robbie, Tristan, Arnaldo. It's a whole bunch of people. It's just sad because I met a lot of these guys, while I'm still in that dump. And I'm still here. And they all let go of me. Talking about my ex-close friends. They all let go of me. So sad, dude. It's so sad. And so it's hard for me to get out of reality and get out of that reality. And the only way I can just let all of this negativity and, all my bitterness go is if I'm gone. And from there, I could have taken therapy and just so it'll be the perfect time for me to, to better my mental health once I get into a new workplace, which really hasn't happened, So yeah, I'm not ready to go back to my friend circle. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I got to give it more time for myself. So I don't know how much longer do you want to wait, but Julio wants to catch up. Like I said, I'm going to see him next week. So everyone else is going to have to wait. Everyone else is going to have to wait. I'm sorry. The rest, I'm not ready for any like regular hangouts. So it is what it is at this point. Let them feel what they want to feel. Because, this workplace is going to continue destroying me mentally to the point that I just cannot do this anymore with them. Even the times where I lashed out at Russ and Dewey and the rest of the guys too. I ain't gonna let them see me just go crazy on my own friends like that. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. Fuck that workplace. I'm still gonna fault it for what it's done, what it's worth now, to where my life is at. Sorry, I know it's just been way too long of a rant here, but I feel like I got all my points across as to why I'm not ready to go back to my friend circle. So that's that. Peace out, everyone.